This next story comes courtesy of you, the viewers. We asked you to write in about homeless camps near schools. And we're doing this because now the kids are back in class. The city has vowed to make clearing those camps a priority. And we want to keep an eye on how that goes. Maggie Vespa, our viewers clearly want that too.
Dan, they clearly do. So we'll start with one school in particular that we've heard about a lot. And we should note, we checked in on this a couple of weeks ago, but this camp's location is unique. And because of that, admittedly, we missed it, so our bad. A viewer, a parent at Cleveland High School, sent us these photos. That camp is actually, it turns out, between the school and its football field, which sits about 4 blocks away. So Matt wrote into the story and said both high school and middle school students are having to walk through the camp around objects and trash on the sidewalk to enter that field. The city needs to either take action to remove the homeless or allow the school to take action before someone is hurt. Christy called it absolutely shameful that our city officials are paralyzed and appear completely inept at doing their jobs. So again, today we went back to Cleveland High. Here's what we found, and here's what the city had to say. Kids are back in class at Cleveland High. This is what the school's entrance looked like at lunchtime. A little more than 3 blocks north, their track and field complex sat mostly empty. But the parents who wrote into the story aren't worried about the field or the school. They're worried about the route in between, which plays host to this homeless camp near Southeast 29th and Waverly. A lot of students, parents say, walk and park here.
It's embarrassing. I personally am embarrassed myself.
Jacob's been at the camp trying to fix his van for about 2 weeks.
I wouldn't want my kids or to have to walk through it.
To be clear, Jacob was adamant. No one here would ever try to scare, let alone hurt, kids. Students told us the same thing. This senior says he's never felt threatened.
Most people avoid it. They can just go on the sidewalk over there and stuff.
Still, parents wrote in arguing the camp blocks sidewalks and they're worried about drug use. Tuesday, we saw a large banner advertising the sale of vaping materials in the camp. A block away, a man screamed and walked in front of a car. Still, the city tells us amid a booming housing crisis, this camp is not a priority. In an email to KGW, a rep wrote, "This area is not within a vicinity of the school, so it doesn't meet our risk criteria of being near a school site." That criteria, according to a new ordinance enacted over the summer, prioritizes clearing camps 100 feet from high schools or closer. Anything farther away than that, and the city considers the school a non-issue. That's the case here. Officials say this camp is too far from Cleveland High's actual school building for that factor to be considered.
And all it's doing is sweeping people under the rug and sweeping people out of sight and out of mind.
Homeowners we talked to were glad the city's not taking aim at this camp. In short, they said, where are people here supposed to go?
My son and I, who goes to junior high, were talking about it the other day, and he said it is kind of a mess, but he's like, I guess if our house didn't have walls around the basement and garage, it would look like a mess too.
Back at Cleveland High, the man who was screaming in the street near the camp walked by the bustling school, escorted by campus security. Now, we should note, we reached out to the parents who sent us those emails about Cleveland. Neither had gotten back to us wanting to do an interview. Portland Public Schools, though, has commented on this issue many times, and they basically at this point have a standard statement saying that they're working with the city and the county, and they call homelessness a humanitarian crisis in Portland. Dan.
Right. Speaking of that statement, which they have sent us a few different times, this whole thing started because you looked into a camp near Sunnyside School. The city cleared that a couple of weeks ago because school was starting, and you went back and checked it out today.
Yeah, exactly. And this right here is what we found, a couple of tents, but it's mostly clear. There was also, this caught our eye, a sign for safe routes to school. That's a partnership between PBOT, ODOT, and Metro. And it usually is used to remind drivers to go slow near schools because kids are walking to class. Well, the city confirms it's now working with safe routes to school on this issue, on homeless camps as well. But again, they're zeroing in on camps that are less than 100 feet from high schools, and for middle schools and elementary schools, that boundary goes up to 150 feet.
Got it. Maggie, thanks.
Sure.